And it's a lot of rappers behind the scene that want to talk about it and they're scared. But sweetheart, I'm not scared. I'm legendary in these streets. You know how many artists I've spoken to behind the scenes that are too afraid to speak up?
So you'll speak. We'll speak, y'all.
I'm gonna speak because y'all can't touch me. I am completely protected. I am protected by God. Y'all don't see that by now?
Rapper Nicki Minaj was the apparent target of a swatting call last night at around 7 p.m. The LA County Sheriff's Department received a call claiming an assault with a deadly weapon had occurred at the Grammy winner's Hidden Hills residence.
All right. Remember when Jay-Z said this?
I think we passed kneeling.
Let me play it again. This time, look at the reaction of the lady sat just behind him.
You got to be working with them. As far as I'm concerned, Roc Nation is run by a couple. You know what I'm saying? Why would people think the government don't run businesses? You don't think by right now that they ain't got a major rapper that's a snitch, that's a... Oh, yeah.
Welcome back to Fame Flux, where the truth behind fame gets exposed. Nicki Minaj just dropped some serious receipts, and this time she's coming directly for Roc Nation. She's accusing them of being behind a whole setup operation targeting major rappers.
Prevent me from making wrong.
The incident started on March 27th of last year.
So legally, I can't go home.
No.
Why?
Deore Hadley says she was lured to that parking lot by someone posing as a potential client for the landscaping company she runs with her then boyfriend, now husband.
She said her mom didn't just play dirty. She went full-blown cartel with it. Once she told Desiree she wasn't leaving her husband, that's when things got real grimy.
And she's naming names too, including Jay-Z and convicted ex-trafficker turned government informant Desiree Perez. But Nicki's not just throwing wild shots. She's connecting Roc Nation to Tory Lanez's sentence, 6ix9ine snitch label drama, Casanova's Ryko case, and several other high-profile takedowns. And here's the twist. The one thing linking all these cases? Speaking out against Desiree Perez. But just when things couldn't get any more explosive, Desiree's own daughter jumped into the fire, publicly backing Nicki and saying her mom locked her up in a mental hospital for no reason.
Most artists have no clue what is happening. Y'all don't know what the we go through. At the workplace, you know how many women, I said this on Twitter, get strategically blackballed out of their positions when they're a little too strong, when they're a little too smart, and get told that they're angry black women and they're having a breakdown?
All right. Now ask yourself, if Desiree allegedly did that to her own daughter, what would she do to someone like Nicki? Especially with Nicki now leaking proof that Roc Nation might be tied in with the government. And if that sounds wild, check out Desiree's daughter exposing her online and notice how not one major outlet touched the story.
So legally, I can't go home.
No, you cannot.
Why?
Because you're being Baker acted.
Body camera video shows the moments Broward deputies encouraged Deore Hadley to get into this pickup truck with people she says she didn't know.
I can't ride with you and you guys take me?
You're going to be in handcuffs, so dog's not going to be able to come?
No, I don't want to be in handcuffs.
Okay.
Deore says they took her to a hospital for a mental health evaluation after this doctor signed paperwork saying she was a risk to herself.
What he told me was, we received a call from your family that you tried to OD the night before.
A doctor she says she'd never met before. And according to Deore, it's her own mother who's behind it. In this lawsuit, she claims her mother, Desiree Perez, used unlawful means to have Deore falsely detained under Florida's Baker Act and Marchman Act.
So she's the CEO of Roc Nation, a company that she owns along with Sean Carter, the famous rapper Jay-Z.
That's why Nicki's going public and showing cold, hard proof. If Roc Nation's working with the feds, then any outspoken rapper could be next on the list. So here's what Nicki actually put out, and it's wild. She posted a screenshot that claims Roc Nation and Desiree Perez have been teaming up with federal agents to keep tabs on artists, using their legal issues like strings to control them. The document doesn't hold back. It labels Desiree as a confidential informant for federal law enforcement. And this isn't some random screenshot off social media. It's taken straight from a lawsuit filed by Desiree Perez's own daughter, Deore Hadley. According to those court records, Deore says Desiree had her locked away in a mental institution without any legit medical reason. Deore even posted body cam footage showing the moment she was taken away by authorities. She's claiming the whole thing was planned and executed by her mother, Desiree, using power and legal connections to make it happen.
Because she has been through some trauma and some abuse with Roc Nation, with Desiree Perez, with other individuals. They've abused her. They've abused of her platform. They've abused of her talents. They've abused of her freedom of speech. They've abused her family. They've attacked her husband. They've attacked her child. And it's sad. It's really sad.
Now get this. The reason behind it all is even more disturbing. According to Deure's legal filing, Desiree allegedly used her influence and cash to wreck Deure's marriage to Deore Hadley. Deure says her mother threatened to hit her with the Baker Act, which is Florida's controversial psychiatric hold law, unless she filed for divorce. That's serious manipulation with legal weight behind it. The Baker Act lets law enforcement, judges, or licensed professionals detain someone for up to 72 hours if they're believed to be a danger to themselves or others due to mental illness. But here's where it takes a disturbing turn. According to Deore Hadley's lawsuit, the real reason Desiree Perez wanted her daughter to leave her husband Deore Hadley is because he's black. That's right. Desiree Perez, the same woman chosen by Jay-Z to help lead Roc Nation, is being accused of racism by her own daughter. The legal complaint even quotes Desiree threatening Deure, saying, "I'm going to Baker Act you. If you stay with that N-word, I will have you committed." That's not all. Deure didn't just make claims. She came with receipts. She included dozens of pages of medical records proving she wasn't under any mental distress at the time. According to the lawsuit, she was sober, healthy, and stable, and had no medical reason to be institutionalized.
Roc Nation, my mother Desiree Perez, all these law firms, Swatting, Daniel, Reed Smith, they have a lot of money and connections and resources. It's really sad. Somebody so resourceful, talented, high profile as Nicki Minaj being targeted. It should really scare the American people. It should really scare you guys too, right? Because I'm the daughter, so it's like at this point, if it's happening to me, I think she's really outspoken, and I'm grateful that she's being outspoken on it, because I think she's almost saying it like, well, it happened to me, it's happening to her, let me speak up on it. Nobody is safe right now.
Deure also posted those records publicly on X, calling out fake blogs, burner accounts, and trolls who tried to twist her story. In her caption, she explained how she passed blood tests, urine screens at 3 different clinics, and even did a hair follicle test, which reveals drug use history for over 3 months. She added that she had over 10 years of primary care records to back it all up, with full screenings proving she had no substance issues whatsoever. The entire situation is sounding more calculated than chaotic. I have never done drugs. I have never drunk alcohol. That's what Deore Hadley declared publicly, standing firm on her truth with medical proof to back her up. Now, how does all of this connect back to Nicki Minaj?
Earlier this month, officers arrived at Minaj's home around 6 p.m. to investigate a report that Nicki's 3-year-old son was being abused. After examining the toddler, officers determined he was safe and they left, but another call was made in the early morning hours, and around 3 a.m. Minaj and her family were awakened after a fire was reported at her home. Firefighters arrived and found no flames. Swatting is a term used by law enforcement officials used to describe an act of making a false report in order to get a response from police that can involve an armed SWAT team.
Because Nicki has been sounding the alarm about Desiree Perez and Jay-Z for a long time, but people kept brushing her off, calling it bitterness or industry drama. Think back to when Nicki and Megan Thee Stallion were trading diss tracks last year. Right in the middle of that heat, Nicki made it clear she was about to air out Desiree's shady business moves. She even accused Desiree of randomly firing a bunch of Roc Nation staff with no clear reason. Nicki posted, "On the next song, I delve into all the people Desiree allegedly fired for unknown reasons. Other things as well. So many people were blindsided and hurt by her, allegedly." Then she added a chilling line. "She's willing to go broke to try to replace me. Fix it, Jesus." But according to Nicki, those firings weren't random. They were because the employees were Nicki Minaj fans. Straight retaliation. Now, Desiree's own daughter, Deore, is co-signing what Nicki's been trying to tell the world, backing up claims that Roc Nation and Desiree have allegedly done some dark things behind the scenes in an attempt to ruin Nicki's career. The puzzle pieces are starting to click into place, and it's messier than anyone thought. In a recent interview, Deore Hadley dropped another bomb, saying Roc Nation didn't just come for her, they allegedly went after her entire family. She claims her husband and even her own child were being targeted as part of the fallout. It's a heartbreaking situation. Deore even compared Nicki's public battles to her own forced hospitalization, saying both were examples of how far Desiree Perez and Roc Nation are willing to go. She claimed they're far more dangerous and calculated than most people realize. After seeing Deore's lawsuit and hearing her speak out, Nicki responded on X with a fierce message. To the PMs who claim it wasn't made clear to your ugly asses, hopefully Deore's massive and detailed page-by-page claim gets you all the way caught up. And, never call me a liar, never insinuate either. Nicki continued, every single angel ever created fights for me at the mere mention of that word as it relates to me. Vengeance is the Lord's. Be careful. No one who conspired on the wrong side will go unpunished for the role they played in this movie. I hope it was all worth it. Then she confirmed the rumors. Roc Nation allegedly targeted her husband and child too. She said powerful people are still out here trying to rip a husband away from his wife and child, pushing a dark agenda behind closed doors. Now this next part takes everything to a whole new level. Remember when Nicki Minaj's home got swatted over and over again starting in mid-2023? Well, according to Nicki, none of that was random. She says it was all part of Roc Nation's twisted campaign against her. The first incident kicked off when someone called the police, making a fake report that Nicki was harming her own child. LAPD rushed to the scene, did a full sweep, and found absolutely nothing.
Rapper Nicki Minaj was the apparent target of a swatting call last night at around 7 p.m. The LA County Sheriff's Department received a call claiming an assault with a deadly weapon had occurred at the Grammy winner's Hidden Hills residence. The caller claimed somebody had shot a black female adult, and two suspects wearing all black were still on the property. But when deputies arrived at Minaj's residence, there was no evidence of any crime.
But that wasn't the end of it. Just a few hours later, authorities got another bogus call claiming there was a fire at the exact same address. And it didn't stop there. Just weeks after that, another call came in saying Nicki had been shot. Again, officers stormed the house, only to find zero evidence of any crime. Over and over again, she was being hit with fake emergency reports. The LA Times confirmed these incidents, reporting that the LA County Sheriff's Department responded to a call in Hidden Hills. The caller claimed a friend had shot a black woman, a serious and dangerous claim. But once again, it turned out to be a complete swatting hoax. A neighbor even told the LA Times that law enforcement showed up in full force, and there was nothing going on. It's looking like a targeted harassment pattern designed to rattle her home in peace. It's clear now, this wasn't just a string of random events. The swatting incidents, the false reports, and the online attacks all seem coordinated, repeated, and designed to send a chilling message to Nicki Minaj. And all of it happened right when Nicki was calling out Roc Nation and hinting there was something much bigger happening behind closed doors. So when Desiree Perez's daughter says Roc Nation and her mother are willing to destroy anyone who steps out of line, and Nicki starts getting swatted while her child's name is dragged into fake emergencies, you have to wonder, was this part of a bigger agenda? Was Roc Nation sending a coded warning? Because at this point, none of it feels like coincidence. The bigger picture gets even darker when you consider Desiree Perez's controversial history. She's not just a label executive. She's got a past filled with serious federal charges. And Nicki? She became a target because she said out loud what everyone else whispered in silence. That Roc Nation isn't just a label. It might be a cover for something deeper. A machine working with federal powers, specifically targeting rappers who don't play by the rules. According to investigative reporting from the account Resists Programming on X, Desiree Perez was arrested back in 1994 for trafficking 35 kilos of cocaine and conspiracy to distribute controlled substances. Court documents obtained by the New York Daily News reveal she was hit with federal charges for being part of a drug ring that moved weight from New York to Florida and even Puerto Rico. And Perez? She wasn't operating solo. She was tied into something way bigger. Desiree Perez wasn't moving through that old drug ring alone. Her husband, Juan O.G. Perez, was also involved. And here's where it gets even tighter. Juan is one of Jay-Z's closest longtime friends. The two go way back, and in the mid-90s, they co-founded the legendary 40/40 Club. Jay-Z later gave Juan a powerful spot as the president of Roc Nation Sports. And to this day, they're still tied as close family friends. But let's get back to Desiree's criminal background. What really happened after she got caught moving all that weight? According to public records, Desiree avoided serious prison time by cutting a deal. She flipped, became a federal informant, and only got 5 years of probation. She didn't stop there either. Reports say she even wore a wire to help federal agents bust her former associates. A 2014 article from the New York Daily News confirmed it. The feds called Desiree their star mole. That same report described her as a Manhattan nightclub manager with deep hip-hop ties and a stacked criminal record. The article also highlighted her long and unpredictable past as a DEA cooperating witness, even noting she was on the run at one point. Now, Desiree might have been officially pardoned later on, but some are saying the informant work didn't end there. According to Nicki Minaj, both Desiree and Jay-Z are playing double roles, claiming they're working as government informants. Nicki even said Roc Nation is more than just a label. She believes it's a front built to trap rappers and keep the culture under surveillance. And the clearest example? Tory Lanez, the one artist many believe was caught in the crosshairs of that exact setup. Right after the guilty verdict hit, Tory Lanez's father stormed out of the courthouse, shouting at the media that Desiree Perez, Jay-Z, and Roc Nation trade and barter the souls of young men. The rage wasn't just about the trial. It was a direct call-out of the bigger machine working behind the scenes. But Tory wasn't the only one caught up. Just like Nicki Minaj warned, any rapper who steps out of line or challenges Roc Nation ends up tangled in serious legal heat. Take 6ix9ine, he got dragged through the mud, called the ultimate snitch during his RICO case for cooperating with the feds. But what people don't talk about is this. 6ix9ine also teamed up with Nicki to publicly call out Desiree Perez and Roc Nation. And shortly after that, his entire reputation was torn apart in the media. Then there's Casanova, another artist connected to Roc Nation who suddenly found himself hit with major federal RICO charges. What makes it shady? Casanova had just started questioning Roc Nation's business moves, and not long after, the feds came knocking. Even how the indictment played out matched a pattern Nicki pointed out. Get artists into deals, control their moves, and if they resist, destroy them. And here's the craziest part. Nicki's not done. She's got more names, not just rappers, but managers, executives, even judges and media players. If she exposes it all, Roc Nation could be facing a collapse right in front of us. Don't miss what's coming next. Hit that like button and subscribe for the full breakdown.